Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing, seeing a continuation of some sunny skies out there this morning. Temperature now climbed into the mid 50s and still seeing a slight breeze out of the north as we continue through our Friday morning. Overall, expecting a dry and quiet weather day as we move through the day and continuing for the next several days as high pressure takes control over the forecast, keeping things very quiet and dry, as well as seeing our temperatures back to more seasonable to slightly above average levels. If we take a look at our current surface analysis, we can see that area of high pressure has built eastward, centered just to our west. Still see a piece of that area of low pressure well off the coast. That's going to keep the pressure gradient just tight enough to give us some slightly breezy conditions as we move through today out of the north to northeast over the next 24 hours. But otherwise, that high pressure is going to dominate the forecast for the eastern part of the country and again keep things very quiet and dry as we move through the next several days. Looking at the upper level winds from this morning sounding, seeing generally north to slightly northeasterly winds through much of the column and seeing our peak winds at 37 knots out of the northeast at 25,000 feet. And our freezing level today is at 12,100 feet. Quick look at the visible satellite. We can see those clear skies across the region this morning and expecting that to continue over the next 24 hours and should see some very nice conditions. If we take a look at the European model here, zoomed out so we can see the big picture as we move through the next 7 days. Not much to talk about moving through the weekend. We'll see nice temperatures, right about average to 1 to 2 degrees above average for this time of year, but this high pressure is going to keep things very quiet and uneventful as we move through our weekend, and that continues as we go into the beginning of next week with those, again, continued seasonable to slightly above seasonable temperatures for much of the first part of the week. As we get into the middle of the week here, as you can see, still continuing to see dry conditions, and then we'll start to see an upper level trough digging across the northern part of the country as we get into the second part of the week here. Out ahead of it, the European model here indicating some light sprinkles or showers possible across the area during the PM hours on Wednesday, and then possibly a front pushing through as we move into the Thursday morning time frame. Still a bit far out to really narrow down the timing of this front. Other models showing more of a drier solution, and with some of the dry air that we've seen lately, would not be surprised to see things trend drier with this. But again, about 7 days out with that, so we'll have to wait till we get a little closer to narrow down exactly what comes of this trough as it passes to our north. But nonetheless, looks like that would pass through here if it rain or no rain, and then we'll see a return to nice high pressure and quiet conditions. So if we look at our 24-hour weather chart for today, looking at green conditions over the next 24 hours, expecting clear skies to prevail, maybe a few high clouds possible, but overall seeing our high temperature right around 68 degrees today, so that's right on par with our average high for this time of year. We'll see those winds out of the north, 8 to 13 knots, peaking up around 18 knots this afternoon. And we'll see those winds lighten up as we go into the overnight time frame with a slight northeasterly component to that. And that's going to allow temperatures to cool down to around 47 degrees, which again is back on average with this time of year, and continued clear skies as we get into the start of the day on Saturday. We'll see our tides slightly above normal today. And looking at the next 7 days, again, quiet and pleasant conditions moving through the weekend as we continue with seasonal temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s, and our low temperatures right in the upper 40s, and then getting into the start of next week. Continue mostly sunny conditions and those temperatures a couple degrees above average moving through at least the first half of the week with mainly dry conditions. And we'll see some increased clouds as that trough, upper level trough, approaches to our north. So partly to mostly cloudy conditions as we move through Wednesday and Thursday with the passage of that, and just putting about a 15% chance of seeing any precip with that boundary and trough approach in the area. But again, still some uncertainty there, whether that will occur. But behind that front, likely seeing some reduction in the temperatures down to more average, right with a high around 70 degrees and the lows still in the low to mid 50s. So That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again on Monday at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day.